What's up, it's Raphael, NBA Draft Junkies. In this episode, I want to talk about my top 5 players for the 2020 draft. Right now, it's early. We're still about a month away from the first games. And for me personally, it's a two-person race for the first pick. Right now, I have James Wiseman going number 1, with Anthony Edwards following him up going number 2. My top prospect in all of college basketball is James Wiseman out of Memphis. Wiseman is a 7'1", 247-pound freshman with a 7'4" wingspan, but an even bigger upside, and is the ideal big man for today's NBA. In my opinion, with his athleticism, agility, and mobility, along with his improving offensive skill set, it separates him from the rest of the pack. Wiseman is a quick-twitch athlete that can impact games in a variety of ways. He can be used as a pick-and-roll lob threat, a rim runner in transition, or in the low post where he can score with his back to the basket or facing up.
Lillard from Oakland, California.
Well, he went to the right level to develop. That's right. I mean, you go to the right level. How about that, James Wiseman?
He can also be an effective force on the offensive glass by turning missed shots into scoring opportunities for himself. Originally, I had questions about his motor and energy, and over time, he's done a good job of answering those questions. Jermaine O'Neal is the best NBA comparison that comes to mind, since both are left-handed and can beat you inside and out. I believe Wiseman will become a better three-point shooter than O'Neal, but that's largely due to the different style of play in the NBA from the time Jermaine entered the league over 20 years ago. It will be interesting to see how first-year Memphis coach Penny Hardaway utilizes Wiseman's skill set and how well Wiseman meshes with a talented freshman class that features multiple NBA prospects.
Barnes, el gancho arriba, fallaba, gran rebote ofensivo.
Well, there's no question, and that's why these NBA scouts love this game, because, again, you have...
My number 2 prospect for the 2020 draft is Georgia freshman guard Anthony Edwards. Edwards is an athletic, high-flying guard out of Atlanta with a knack for scoring points in bunches. He's young for his age, just turning 18 in August, but has already shown he's a 3-level scorer that can potentially develop into a primary ball handler as his game matures. As a dominant scorer on the prep level, Edwards was a matchup nightmare for opposing defenders, often attacking and bullying smaller guards or using his ball handling and quickness to blow by bigs for easy finishes at the rim.
Drive is up and good for Atlanta.
While attacking the basket is his greatest asset at this point in his career, Edwards is a promising shooter, especially off the dribble, where he's comfortable shooting stop-and-pop J's or isolation threes versus a defender that is sagging back in fear of his quick first step.
Edwards takes a deep three. Edwards buries a deep three.
As far as NBA comparison, I'd say Edwards' athleticism, scoring, rebounding, and passing are similar to the playing styles of Victor Oladipo and Donovan Mitchell.
Atlanta coming up straight to the drive, coast to coast is up and good by Anthony Edwards, number 5.
I have North Carolina freshman Cole Anthony as the top point guard in a deep class that could have as many as 6 point guards selected in the lottery. The son of former UNLV great and NBA veteran Greg Anthony plays with a competitive fire and toughness and is never lacking confidence when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. He has all the physical tools you love out of a modern NBA lead guard with a quick first step and explosive athleticism that allows him to make plays at the rim. Anthony is a natural scorer that excels in transition and can fill it up from 3 levels in the half court. While he's mostly known for his scoring, he's an improving playmaker that displays good court vision and passing instincts. Measuring out at around 6'3", 185 pounds, Anthony is a shifty ball handler that changes speeds and understands how to get to his sweet spots on the floor. He's dangerous once he gets in the paint because he can finish with either hand through contact, get to the foul line where he's a good free throw shooter, or make plays for others. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing Anthony turning rebounds into fast break opportunities in North Carolina's up-tempo offense. At the minimum, I expect Anthony to post numbers that will be similar to the 16 points per game and 4 assists per game that Kobe White averaged last season as a freshman.
Stewart with the kick out for Anthony, who floats down the lane.
My number 4 prospect for the 2020 NBA draft is LaMelo Ball. If you saw my previous video on LaMelo, you'll see where I broke down his film from a preseason tournament in which he put himself in position to hear his name called early on draft night. Blessed with great size and length that will allow him to play up to 3 positions, Melo is best when he has the ball in his hands, whether it's making plays for himself or for others. LaMelo is a creative scorer that has looked comfortable and has more than held his own against older and stronger grown men in Australia's NBL. In the preseason games and one regular season game that I've watched, Melo has shown his offensive creativity, creating off the dribble on drives, pull-ups, and shooting threes. While he lacks ideal pop and explosiveness that could present a problem versus NBA rim protectors, Melo is very advanced for his age at using soft touch and crafty finishes around the rim. He shoots deep floaters and has a very unorthodox game that's tough to find an NBA comparison. Of course, it's natural to compare him to his older brother Lonzo, but there's shades of a young Penny Hardaway and a pre-knee injury Sean Livingston that comes to mind. I personally think he reminds me of a bigger D'Angelo Russell. Russell has managed to become a 20-point-per-game scorer and an all-star despite his lack of ideal athleticism, quickness, and explosiveness.
Ball, count it, and the foul.
Right on
Trimble,
cue.
the crowd's begging him to shoot this one from deep, and he loads up for it, gets it to go. LaMelo ball gets up with it, the great pass to Josh Boone.
On ball, crossover, gets into the lane, spin move, and a lovely play. What a move.
Memphis freshman Precious Achiuwa rounds out my top 5. I have Achiuwa higher on my list than most due to his tremendous upside. Achiuwa is a 6'9" elite-level athlete with a 7'3" wingspan that can play both forward spots. I believe long-term his game is best suited at the 4, where he'd be a matchup nightmare for opposing defenders. In my opinion, he's still very raw and has a long ways to go in improving his shot selection and overall feel for the game, but his talent and overall skill package make him a top 5 pick on my draft board as of today. Precious has a quick first step that allows him to blow past defenders and get to the rim where he looks to finish strong with powerful dunks.
Oh, Precious makes another beautiful move, +1.
He glides to the rim with his long strides, has quick twitch muscles, and what I like most about his game at this point in his career is he plays hard. He's shown flashes of his shooting and ball handling ability, although his confidence in both often leads to bad decisions and turnovers. I strongly believe if the right development is in place, Achiuwa can become an NBA All-Star due to his athleticism, ball handling, energy, and potential as a shooter. I'd love to see him become more of an intuitive cutter where he would be dangerous finishing at the rim or flashing and elevating over smaller defenders for short jumpers.